So I found a lot of YouTube videos about the Elder Scrolls lore, but I didn't find any that tells you the exact sequence of the events. So I decided to make a full timeline of the 4th era in this video. So basically, the 4th era started exactly after the ending of the Oblivion Crisis. We'll get straight into that in a minute. And it's really important because most of the events that you're familiar with happened in the 4th era. It is kind of short because all the events has ended directly after the ending of Skyrim, so this is as far as we know until now. Some of the names are kind of odd, so please, if I pronounced anything wrong, please go easy on me. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into this. So, 3rd era, year 433. Martin Septim sacrifices himself, destroying the amulet of kings, summoning the avatar of Akatosh to banish Mehrunes Dagon from Nirn and save the people of the Empire. This ended the 3rd era and started the 4th, and of course ended the Septim dynasty. And after the Oblivion Crisis was ended, the 4th era started, and High Chancellor Okato fails to find a new emperor after the death of Martin Septim. In year 2, Sinderian delivers a speech to the Alchemical Symposium about Nirnroot. You can meet the actual guy in the Elder Scrolls Oblivion in a quest called Seeking Your Roots, and you can see his remains in his laboratory in Blackreach in a quest called Return to Your Roots in the Elder Scrolls Skyrim. In year 5, Varda falls from the sky due to the disappearance of Vivec, causing the complete destruction of Vivec City. The Red Mountain erupts and the Red Year begins. In year 6, the Argonians of Blackmarsh begin their invasion of southern Morrowind. In year 10, High Chancellor Okato is killed. We don't know who killed him for sure, but most likely by the Thalmor. Due to the Red Year, Morrowind became less habitable, so in year 16 the High King of Skyrim gives Solstheim to the Dunmer as their new home, though others decided to settle in Skyrim, mainly in Winterhold, Winhelm, and Riften. In year 17, the Mede dynasty begins after Titus Mede I ascends to the throne of the Emperor. In year 20, Dunmer refugees use the Dunmouth Pass to travel into Skyrim. Refugees come in for Morrowind, and Refugees' Rest is decreed to be a monument. Around this year, Refugees' Rest served as a central information gathering and meeting point for Dunmer refugees fleeing from Morrowind, seeking sanctuary in Skyrim after the eruption of Red Mountain. In year 22, the Thalmor came into power of Somerset Isle, and this is, I guess, the first mention of the Thalmor, and they renamed Somerset Isle to Alinor, though nobody cared about that, and they still referred it as Somerset Isle outside the 3rd Aldmeri Dominion. In year 29, the government of Valenwwod is overthrown by the Thalmor. The Bosmeri, allied with the Empire, were unprepared. Valenwwod becomes a Thalmor territory. The 3rd Aldmeri Dominion severs all ties with the Empire. Year 38. A great warrior from Winhelm, Wundheim, dies. His son, Diracht, lights a candle above the hearth in his home in his honor. The building later becomes the known Candle Hearth Hall. In year 42, a night of green fire occurs. Ultimate dissidents fleeing the Dominion are massacred by the Thalmor agents in Sentinel. In year 48, the events of an Elder Scrolls novel, The Infernal City, and the other novel, Lord of Souls, took place in this year. In year 58, Sinderian records his findings about Nirnroot in his journal. In year 65, House Whiterun Counselor Barara Morvayn dies, and her son, Lyril Morvayn, becomes counselor. In year 95, House Hlalu member Vilhur Olin attempts to assassinate Little Morvain. In year 98, the Void Knights begin, and the Khajiits freak out. In year 99, the Third Aldmeri Dominion ceases their 70-year-long period of isolation from the Empire, and after 2 years from the Void Knights, they end, and the two moons of Nirn, Master and Secunda come back again. Of course, that was a good chance for the Thalmor to take credit off, which after 15 years led the coup against the Elsweyr Confederacy, and Elsweyr is divided into two kingdoms, Aniquina and Palatine, as extensions of the Aldmeri Dominion. In year 122, the great collapse of Winterhold occurs. In a series of storms lashed out the northern coast of Skyrim, eventually causing most of the city to erode alarmingly fast and be washed away into the Sea of Ghosts. The event crippled Winterhold, but miraculously left the College of Winterhold largely unharmed. 129, the people of Ripton overwhelmed the city guard and killed Husgan Cross-Daggers, the black-hearted jarl, who ruled for 31 years with an iron fist, taxing its citizens mercilessly. It was not until the citizens rose up against them. In 130, the bulwark shows signs of crumbling. In 150, a small force of Argonians arrives on Solstheim to wreak havoc, but repelled by Little Morvain. In year 168, Titus Mede II is crowned an emperor, and now the Great War is really close. On the 30th of Frostfall 171, an ambassador of the Aldmeri Dominion demands the Empire to accept an ultimatum. The Empire resists. The Great War between the Empire and the Aldmeri Dominion begins. Aldmeri forces led by Lord Narifi invade Hammerfell and Cyrodiil. The city of Leyawiin falls, and the city of Gravel is besieged. A second Aldmeri force, led by Lady Aranelia, crossed western Cyrodiil and invade Hammerfell. The Red Guards in Hammerfell, divided by civil war and disorganized, put up little resistance. The southern coastline falls to the Aldmeri forces as the Imperial legions in Hammerfell retreat north into the Alikir Desert. 172. Aldmeri forces advance into Cyrodiil to capture the Imperial City. The situation in Cyrodiil. The cities of Bravel and Vil both fall to Aldmeri forces. Naval battles in Lake Rumar surrounding Imperial City and along the Nibin River leading to the Rumar. The situation in Hammerfell. The entire southern coastline falls to the Aldmeri forces with an exception of Hillgate, that is under siege. 173. Aldmeri forces cross the Nibin and advance towards the Imperial City through the eastern bank, surrounding the city from east, south, and west. While in Hammerfell, the siege of Hillgate is broken. Imperial forces make a stand in Skaven to fight off the advancing Aldmeri soldiers. Skaven falls to the Aldmeri, however, the victorious Aldmeri force is severely weakened by the advance through the desert and is unable to continue their campaign. 174. The Thalmor leadership decides to focus their forces in Cyrodiil campaign, and finally the Imperial City falls to the Aldmeri Dominion. In the Reach, Markarth falls to the Reachmen in the Forsworn Uprising and is ruled as an independent kingdom. 175. The Battle of the Red Ring takes place as the Empire embarks on a campaign to retake Imperial City, which fell to the Aldmeri Dominion the previous year. The battle was an Imperial victory, but not without heavy losses. Exhausted from the war, the Empire negotiates a peace treaty and signs the White Gold Concordat with the Aldmeri Dominion, thus ending the war. The terms of the agreement are the surrender of the remaining territories still occupied by Aldmeri forces and the banning of worship of Tullius. Thus the Great War ends. And of course, as a result of the White Gold Concordat, relationship between the Imperials of Cyrodiil and the Red Guard of Hammerfell deteriorated. Although allies during the war, the Empire is forced to renounce Hammerfell as an Imperial province. The Elder Scrolls housed in the libraries of White Gold Tower vanish and are scattered across Tamriel by unknown means. Ulfric Stormcloak and his militia in 176 retake the Reach and Markarth from the Reachmen. The surviving Reachmen flee to the hills of the Reach and became known as the Forsword, a clan commonly known to hold a bitter hatred for the Nords. The Stormcloaks are founded and the Skyrim Civil War breaks out. In 180, as a follow-up to the White Gold Concordat, the Second Treaty of Stros-Makai is signed, which results in the Aldmeri forces withdrawing from Hammerfell. In 181, Madanak is captured by Jarl Egmund and imprisoned in Sidna Mine. 186, Cicero begins keeping personal records of the events he encounters. After 3 years, Cicero becomes the keeper of the Night Mother. Year 201. Finally, the events of the Elder Scrolls Skyrim take place. Thorig, the High King of Skyrim, is killed in a duel by Ulfric Stormcloak, and General Tullius is sent by Titus Mede II in Skyrim to end the civil war. The Dragon Crisis begins and Alduin is spotted for the first time since his return in 17th of last seed, attacking the town of Hilgen. The Dragonborn emerges and takes on the task of defeating Alduin and the dragons. And Alduin is slain by the Dragonborn during the Battle of the Tongues in Sovngarde. Starting from that, the sequence of the events, it depends on how you play the game, like how you end the Civil War and which side you take. The discovering of Eye of Magnus in the College of Winterhold quest, the infamous Eyes of Falmer stolen by the Thieves Guild, the Companions. Now everything depends on how you play the game, and this is as far as we know. Year 201, and this is where everything ended. We don't know for sure which year is going to be in Elder Scrolls 6. Yeah, that's it, and I hope this video was really informative, and thank you for watching.